Hello! Welcome to the Jenspiration Conversation. My name is Jennifer, and if this is the first time one of my videos has landed in your feed, it means that my favorite algorithm, which is the universe's algorithm, has put this video in your feed for a reason. So there's something here for you whenever it finds you. To my returning viewers, so much gratitude for coming back to sit with us. Here at the Jenspiration Conversation, we talk all things spiritual, but we keep it street, we keep it grounded. If that sounds like you, you have landed in the right place. Pull up a chair, get comfortable, and go pour yourself a cup of coffee or tea or whatever. I felt fancy. Returning viewers will know that I usually have a cup of tea or coffee or water. But I'm filming this particular episode at night because we are in for some not so great weather for the next couple of days here in Atlantic Canada. So I wanted to get this video at least done and kind of ready to go, because normally these windows show you the water, but I really didn't want to bum you out if it was going to snow for the next 3 days. So welcome to spring. That's how she rolls here. So I felt fancy. This is a long-term Airbnb that I'm renting. I've been here for 6 months, and I just found these plastic wine glasses at the back of the cupboard, and I was like, oh, it's hot pink. It's going with my hot pink theme. So I'm drinking water on a Friday night out of a hot pink glass. So it's good times. The video is going to be a little bit shorter tonight because I feel this topic is near and dear to me. I don't even need notes because there's just a couple of key things I want to say, and then I'm going to let you go and be on your merry way. So I'm going to title this something like The Shape of You. I'm going to steal it from Ed Sheeran. I'm going to call it like the shape of you. For those of you that don't know, I also run my own business. I'm an interior designer and a home stager. So the interior designer in me got an idea today for this video around the shape of you, but it also has to do with the shape of the things that represent you. So there are 8 key elements in design, and one of them is shape. And there's things like texture and rhythm and pattern and all that good stuff. But shape can affect our mood. And interestingly, I was working with a client not that long ago who said to me, I'm feeling drawn to completely change my home office. And I said, great. And she said, I feel like I'm coming into a softer era of mine. I said, great. She said, I want pieces with softer edges. And that's where I got the idea. Like the shape of her life is taking on new shape right now. It's taking on a new form. So she had a very a rectangle desk, rectangle cabinet like the one behind me, her printer station, all that stuff. Everything was pretty much the same shape. And good design has many different shapes in the room. Like you'll see circles and rectangles and triangles and octagons and whatever. That's good design because then it lets your eye kind of dance around the room a little bit. So when we were kind of putting together the mood board, I could see her gravitating towards shapes that were rounder. So she was looking for like an oval desk, and she wanted like a console table that was like more oval, and she wanted like a footrest that was a circle, and she started to pick out art that had like triangles in it and edges with like star edges, but like kind of that softer what's that? And of course that word escapes me. Yep, completely gone. Just like random, really soft kind of shapes that were like morphing into each other, for lack of a better word, in the art pieces that she was drawn to. So she was leaning in and has been leaning into her softer era. And it got me thinking that as a society, we have gone very square. If you look at architecture and how much it's changed over the past decades, you can see how we've gotten away from intricate details, how we've gotten away from curves, how we're leaning more into straight. Let's stay on the straight and narrow. Everything is straight and black and white and this way and this way. And there's no room for fluidity in design. And I feel like that has made us a society that has felt really conformed to be a certain way, look a certain way, dress a certain way, speak a certain way, when most of us just want to kind of flow. And I actually just did a video about the flow of your life, and this is kind of tying in with that. When you think of the flow of your life and what you want to do and pursue your dreams and your passions and be in the flow of your life, your home should do the same thing. Your home should represent the flow state that you're in, whether it's a softer state or a creative state or a mindful state or a peaceful state, whatever state that is. If you find yourself leaning towards softer shapes, it's because that's what you kind of want. You're kind of coming home to yourself in that sense. When we grow up and we're little kids and we're playing with all these different shapes and different textures and different feelings and round balls and triangles and all these different things, that's great. And then we get to school and everything is a rectangle. The chairs are rectangle, the desks are square. We're staring at square chalkboards. Like, why aren't chalkboards in school circular? Just to have something to like change the frequency of your brain so you're not staring at rectangles all the time. So that's the gist of the video, is when you are looking at your home and maybe you're thinking you want to make a few changes, start to see where your body is leading you. Like, what shapes are you gravitating towards? And then once the shape takes form, see what I did there? Once the shape takes form, then you can lean into textures. Maybe you're craving some textures in your home, some softness. Pattern is making a big comeback right now. So is wallpaper. Wallpaper's huge, especially the peel and stick kind, because you can just change it, when the mood strikes. So as you lean into that, you're really opening up your sacral chakra, because that's the seat of like your creativity and your joy and your self-expression. And I think our homes should be the number one place that we do that. Your home is a direct reflection of you. So don't feel like you have to live in a white square box. You can, arch. I know it takes a while and it's a little bit of work, and, construction people aren't super happy when you're like, hey, I'd like to arch this doorway. They're like, sigh, but they'll do it, right? Bring back the crown molding, bring back medallions on your light fixtures, bring back fun switch plates, bring back a little whimsy into your world. Everything doesn't have to be square, and you don't have to feel like you're confined to a box. So this video really does tie in nicely with the one I did about the flow of your life. So if you want to watch that one first and then kind of step over here, but we're specifically just talking about the shape of your life here. So the shape of the items in your home, the texture of the items in your home, the composition, how you put things together. There's no right or wrong, okay? And everyone will start to tell you like, this is trendy, this isn't trendy, this is in, this is out. Listen, by the time we can afford to do changes, people are already telling us it's out, because consumerism just wants you to they want you to keep changing so that you'll keep buying. And it's also that instant gratification generation where it's like, okay, I've achieved that. Well, now I have to do the next thing because the world is telling me I have to do the next thing. So I have to change this room again, blah, blah, blah. And it's just this ridiculous cycle. Well, you don't have to. Why don't you just get into the flow of what you want to do in your home, how you live in your home, and what shapes make up your home and what shapes make up the shape of you. So cheers to that. Okay, let me drink my water from my plastic pink cup. Like, this is kind of elite. Like, let's be honest, right? If you find yourself leaning towards a little bit of a change in your home, I'm filming this during Aries season. It could just be that, you know, there's some passion being ignited in you. And we just had the pink full moon, kind of hence why I did a little pink here, which brought in a lot of like cleansing and change. And it was a powerful, powerful full moon. I pretty much cried all day on the full moon. It's just women, we follow the cycles of the moon, and girls, if you know, you know. But if you're feeling re-energized to make some changes in your home, your bedroom especially, anywhere that maybe you want to add, you know, feel a little sexier in your house, or feel a little cozier, or I don't know, even change up your blankets on the couch. Just get something new that's a different texture, something maybe a little bit more plush. And like I said, this particular client is really leaning into rounder edges because she's in her soft girl era. So guys and girls, whoever's watching this, listen, if you're a bachelor watching this, I've worked with a lot of single men and helped them bring out their style, because all of them who have come to me have said, I have no style. And I'm like, yes, you do. We're just going to bring it out of you. And all of them, their homes turned out incredible because we brought the style out in them. One was really, really artistic, and one was kind of a little bit more beachy and surfer and, you know, retro. And he picked these gorgeous colors. Like when we were looking for sofas, he picked this like really gold yellow plush sofa that he found like you know, at a vintage market. And I was like, that is epic, and we are going to build your whole room around that sofa. This coming from a guy who said he didn't have any style. And as it turns out, he absolutely loved color. Didn't realize it because he was always renting. This was his first home. He was always renting, living in that white box. And then all of a sudden he gets his own house, and he still thought he had to live in a white box. And we went to town. I mean, we went to town. We got some beautiful vintage posters and framed them. I mean, his place looks epic. And you know what? I think he met a girl right after that, and he was like stoked to make her dinner at his place. Anyway, I digress. That's what the video is about today. The shape of you is, yes, your physical form and the flow of your life, but it's also the flow and the shape of your house. The shape of you, the shape of your home, the shape of how you live in your home. If you feel called to make some of those changes, you can start small. Start with the shape, then move to color, maybe pattern, texture, whatever the case is. But don't feel like you have to be contained. It's your house. You can do whatever you want. And guess what? There are so many great things you can do even as a renter. You can still make some changes even as a renter, because you can just, you know, remove the changes when you're done. Is it a little bit more work? Yes. But you don't have to live in 4 white square walls. So thank you, friends, for sitting with me during this Jenspiration conversation. It is always a pleasure to share this space with you. I enjoy bringing this collective together. I enjoy the reciprocity that I feel from you when you comment or you like, or, you know, you just tell me what's going on or how the video related. I just appreciate your energy. I'm also a podcaster. I've had a podcast for just over a year now. There's about 18 or 19 episodes there. If you feel called, it's called Jenspired, the podcast, and it's available on all your favorite streaming services. I'm a little bit more unhinged over there. I talk a little bit more about relationships. It's still spiritual, but it's got a lot to do with relationships and finding what works for you, and balance and earth school. But I do talk about like your big three and zodiac matches and all that cool stuff. So if you feel called, head on over there. But until next time, cheers. Thank you for sitting with me this evening in our cozy space, and I will see you on the next one. Bye bye.